Hi, my name is Terence and welcome to Building Blocks English. In today's lesson, we're going to look at the passive using have and get. In a recent previous video, we looked at the normal passive voice. If you remember well, we used the passive voice to make a sentence more impersonal by removing the people from the sentence. What this does is that it makes it a bit more formal, but it also allows us to focus more on the action and less on the people in a sentence. In today's lesson, we are going to talk about the get-have passive. It is also known as the causative passive, and it is a type of passive that we do use to focus on the action as well. In today's lesson, we're going to look at how we form the structure and why we use the structure. Let's begin with the form. The get-have passive consists of the verb get or have plus the object of the sentence plus the past participle. Both get and have passives follow the same form. Let's start with the positive statement form. I get my hair cut once a month. Here we have a subject. The verb is get, but we can also say have or get. The object here is my hair. And the verb or the past participle here is cut. As you know, cut is an irregular verb, and the forms of cut are cut, cut, and cut. Using the other pronouns, it looks like I get my haircut, you get your haircut, he, she, it, John gets his haircut, they get their haircut. In the negative statement form, I don't get my haircut once a month. And here we're using the present simple tense in my example sentences. And to form the negative, we just use the standard negative form of present simple. As we can use most tenses with this structure, you're going to use the basic negative form of whatever tense you decide to use. And if you're not sure how to do this, make sure you refer to one of our basic tenses videos that we have already uploaded. So, the negative statement form using the other pronouns might look like I don't get my haircut, you don't get your haircut, he, she, it, John doesn't get his haircut, and they don't get their haircut. In the question form, do you get your haircut once a month? And with the other pronouns, do I get my haircut? Do you get your haircut? Does he, she, it, John get his haircut? Do they get their haircut? So, let's talk about why we use this structure. First of all, we use the get-have passive to say that we want or arrange someone to do something for us. For example, I get my haircut once a month. Now think about your own life. Do you cut your own hair, or do you go to a hairdresser and pay someone to cut your hair? Now in my case here, even though I don't have much hair myself, I still go to a hairdresser and I pay my hairdresser some money and he cuts my hair. So I'm likely to use this structure here. So I get my hair cut once a month. I'm using the verb get. I can use have as well. My hair here is the object and the verb is cut, which is in the past participle form. What I'm trying to say here is that I am arranging for a professional, someone who's good at doing something, and I'm probably going to pay this person some money so that they can do something for me. This will be much clearer in my second example. I'm having my living room repainted tomorrow. So here I'm using the have verb in the present continuous form. And I'm only using present continuous here because it's a future arrangement. It's happening tomorrow. The object of this sentence is my living room. And the past participle verb is repainted. This is a regular verb. Paint, painted, painted. So in this example here, I have decided to contact some professional painters. I've organized for them to come tomorrow, and I'm going to pay them some money so that they will paint my living room. When we use this structure, often we use get when we are speaking or in more informal contexts. When we use have, it is considered a little bit more formal than get, but you can use both in most situations. As I said before, we can use this structure with any basic tense. You just change the form of get or have to match your desired tense. Make sure you use the right tense for the right meaning. And if you're not sure how to form a particular tense or why we use a particular tense, just check out one of our videos on any of the basic tenses before trying to use this structure. So let's have a look at this structure in a couple of different forms. So I'm going to have my car serviced next Monday. Here I've decided to use the be going to for future, and here I've got the have here. My car is the object, and serviced is the past participle. This is a be going to for future plans or intentions. I got my nails done yesterday. This is past simple. I'm using this to say that an action is finished in the past. I've gotten the fridge repaired 6 times now. This is present perfect, and we're using present perfect here to show how many. In this case here, 6 times. I love getting my feet massaged at the end of the day. This is not a particular tense here. This is a verb pattern. And so, yes, it is using the present simple of love for habits and routines, general truths. But we know that love is followed by a verb ing. And so here, this is why I'm using get in the ing form. So I love getting. The object is my feet, and massaged is the past participle. In the last example, do you know where I can get my computer fixed? So here I'm using a question form, but I'm also using this structure with a modal verb. Okay, so here's the modal verb here. We can use this structure with other modal verbs. So must, can, should, will, etc. And then we know that it's a modal verb followed by a base verb. That is the infinitive without to. So can get or can have my computer fixed. The second reason why we use this structure is to talk about experiences. Often these experiences tend to be unpleasant. In this structure, we use only the have verb. We don't use the get. So for example, during the flight, I had my carry-on bag stolen. So if we have a look at the structure, here I have my have verb. My carry-on bag is the object, and stolen is the past participle. Now typically, we do use this structure in the past simple because typically we're going to talk about an action that has already happened. For example, when we're telling a story about something in the past. Let's have a look at another example. Unfortunately, she had to have her appendix removed. So here I'm using have here, and it's have here because of the semi-modal verb had to. Had to meaning like must for obligation. She had no choice. She had to have Her appendix, that's the object, removed, past participle. As you can see from both of these examples, they're not very pleasant. In fact, we probably don't want these things to happen to us. So these are great structures to use for things that are stolen from us, when we break a bone or when we had to have an operation or something like that. Lastly, I want to talk about some other similar structures. They're not necessarily passive structures, but they do convey a similar message that we're talking about someone else doing something for us. So we can use the following structures to say that we want to persuade or force someone to do something for us. So in fact, the meaning here is a little bit stronger than simply just asking someone and paying them. The first structure is get someone to do something. For example, I always get my husband to drive me to work. So in this case here, we're using get and only get. Somebody here is my husband, and this somebody is the person that's going to perform the verb or the action that's coming next. To drive here is the to infinitive, and then the me is the object, the somebody or something that follows the infinitive. In this case here, it has a meaning of persuade, or I ask someone to do something and then they do it. Okay, so in this case here, this is from the wife's point of view perhaps, and she always gets her husband to drive her to work. Okay, does he have a choice? Not sure, probably not. So the second structure is make someone do something. So for example, the teacher made me hand over my phone in class. So here we use the verb make. Here it's just in the past simple because it's already happened. Me here is the somebody, the object of make. Hand over is a phrasal verb that just means like give. So this is my do verb in the base form, no to. And then the object of this verb is my phone. Okay. In this case here, it sounds like forced. My teacher forced me to give him or her my phone in class. Did I have a choice? Again, no, I didn't. Okay, so to finish, I want to talk about why we use the get have passive versus why we use the normal passive. Because for many learners, we think, do I really need the structure today? Can I just use the normal passive all the time? Well, sometimes yes, sometimes no. So let's compare these three sentences. I cut my hair yesterday. This is just a normal past simple sentence in the active. Okay, so the subject performs the verb cut. Okay, so past simple active. Now I have my two passive sentences using the same sentence. The first one here is, my hair was cut yesterday. So this is just a past simple, normal, passive voice sentence. So here, my hair was the object in the original sentence, and I've moved it into the subject position, and I followed the passive procedure. So my hair was cut yesterday. Here I've removed the people because I want to focus more on the action. Do I care who cut my hair? Is probably a hairdresser, but it could have been my friend or it could have been someone, but that's not important. That's why I'm using the passive in this case. Now in the last sentence, we're using today's structure. I got my hair cut yesterday. Okay, so this is the causative past simple passive. Okay, that's today's grammar lesson. Causative, past simple, passive. And here we're using this one instead because I want to say that I didn't cut my own hair. Rather, I arranged for a hairdresser to cut my hair. And I paid this person because this person is a professional and I want a professional to cut my hair. And so that's the big difference between the normal passive and the causative passive. Now I've put one more sentence in there just to use the structure that I introduced in the previous slide. I got my friend to cut my hair yesterday. So we can use the get someone to do something structure to say that I persuaded or I asked someone to do something for me. Am I necessarily paying for this service? No, not really. Am I booking it? No, not really. Okay, but I just want to say that I'm not doing it myself. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. And because this is quite a short little grammar lesson, I'd like to finish off with a little bit of practice for you guys. So I want you to answer the following questions using one of the structures presented today. You can write your answers in the comments below. So question number 1. Where do you get your car serviced? Is it cheaper to get it serviced from your original dealer, the place where you bought your car, or go to a smaller, family-owned, independent workshop? 2. Do you get your nails done by a professional, like at a salon or a nail artist, or do you like to do them yourself? 3. What was the last thing you had done around your house? So for example, did you get something repaired at home? Did you get a room renovated, for example? I really look forward to looking at your answers in the comments below. And that brings us to the end of the lesson. If you'd like more information on the get-have passive, please follow the link in the video description below. I hope you have found this lesson useful, and if you have, please like and subscribe, tell all your friends, and I hope to see you all very soon. See you later.